I don't know if you know this, Todd, but before we get started, you're talking to a California surfer, born and raised, who bought my first piece of property in Texas about 8 months ago.
You told me that last time we
Okay,
spoke.
okay, good.
You said it's west of Austin. Where is it, out by Llano?
No, but Johnson City on the way to
Oh yeah,
Fredericksburg.
yeah.
Yeah,
It's great.
loving it. I love
Hey,
Texas.
Justin, aren't you gonna be excited when JD stops saying that? When he tells everybody that he's
He
now
said
playing.
he's he said he's from
Yeah, we
Texas.
know,
Talking
JD, we
about
get it. We know. Everybody
it was
knows. Jesus.
relevant. I didn't just slide it in there.
With regard to
Yeah,
like
that's worse than asking about the weather. I'm just gonna say.
Lambos and bidets, it's still got a
Mm,
long time to go before it catches up. So
true.
yeah,
It's
I'm
gonna.
okay with it. hmm
God, I
Okay.
tell you, I went.
In a
Yeah,
world
my
where
days.
retirement plans are broken, a team of four renegade Arista nerds dared to fix it. Justin McNeil, the wild card who plays by no one's rules. Chad Johansson, the technical wizard who can turn anything into a spreadsheet. J.E. Carlson, the man with all the plans hiding under his beanie. And Mark Palamini, aka Rogue Guy, the heart and soul of the crew. Together, they are Retireholics, changing the retirement plan industry one beer at a time.
Yes, we are. Yes, we are. Yes, we are. We have no Chad Johansson with us today. He's what is he doing, Justin? Where is he?
Driving.
where we all tend to be on the golf course when we're
Yeah,
missing these things.
Okay, but
That's been
he
historically
was
that's
just
been his thing all
watching
year, right?
golf.
yeah.
He's still
True.
on the
He
golf
only
course.
misses when he goes to his kids' sports
Mark, I was
games.
trying to make it look like he was actually out doing
Or
shit,
he's
actually
listening right now.
golfing. I
So
know he
yeah.
is.
Yeah, it does seem to center around golf in some format when Chad
Yep.
misses this. And the text I
hmm
get from him is always very serious manner too. Like, oh, I really wish I could be there, but I have this thing and it's fucking
The,
golfing.
the
Let's
I
fact
get
that
think
he
statistically
sends it's
speaking, he's
good luck
missed more
text.
shows than any of us. Just saying.
He's on a roll this year.
that's fair.
Yep.
Let's get to it.
Oh, you can hit the ball 300 yards, Chad? You can hit bombs?
I
Show
missed
me your
that.
short game. I want to see your short game. I know you're free putt, Chad.
Chad. Silent J, let's get to it. My favorite bit of the show, your little new intro. Kick it
Today's
off.
guest, today's guest is a recognized innovator in the retirement and benefit industry, a sought-after public speaker, a professional skydiver, a husband, a father, a multi-entrepreneur, and JD's favorite part, a fellow Texan. Todd, we're switching things up this year. Have you seen the show before?
Have I seen the what?
The show before. Have you seen this?
Oh yeah, I
All right,
have.
perfect. So you're familiar with what comes next with the rapid fire questions that you have to answer within 1, 2, 3 words, right?
Yes.
Perfect. All right.
I'd like you to go over that.
That is a great start.
The rules and who's the referee on it.
I am.
Me.
I'm going to ask you some questions. No, Mark, or you're the referee elsewhere. I'm going to ask you some questions. It helps the audience get to know you from your perspective rather than me, like it has been historically. So I got a few.
Okay, I'm as ready as I can be for something.
Perfect.
All right. Our industry uses a lot of acronyms. Which one is your favorite?
My favorite
Oh,
acronym:
shit.
financial wellness.
He has seen the show. He has seen the show. No, Justin, stop.
Don't set him up for that because I
That
have
did,
to. I
that
have
did
to
not
mention-
work out too well for me at all.
No,
You guys saw where I was going. with this.
I like.
I don't even know if Todd knows that he played you, but he played you. So
He
keep
did.
Yeah.
He really did.
Go
All right.
hard.
How many kids do you have?
2.
Which one's your favorite?
I'll tell you what my mom told me when I was young. I love
3,
all of you.
1
but
to
I'm
3,
just
1 to 3.
more fond of some.
I love it.
It's a tie. I'm like any other parent in this situation. It's a tie.
It's a
I'm,
tie.
I'm 0 for 2 on this one. I've asked it twice now, and I'm going to get one
Probably I'm
something
not trying to
someday.
make it difficult. I'm not trying to make it
Yeah.
difficult for you, Justin.
You should
Well,
ask me
you're
Shows the
someday.
relative strength of the questions, right?
It does, right? Who is or was your celebrity crush?
Oh, I had a Farrah Fawcett poster in my bedroom.
Damn straight.
Ooh, that's
I
a
went to
yeah.
good
University.
one.
I
Yeah.
Good
went
answer.
to University
Yeah.
of Texas, maybe not as much of the football, but because Farrah Fawcett went to school
Once
there.
again, Todd, 2 or 3 words. Come on, it's not that complicated.
Justin, you got to be a better referee.
You
bud.
had it. You had it with Farrah Fawcett.
I had it all prepped and ready to go,
Let's
but
revert
JD stole my thunder.
back up and say Farrah Fawcett. Nothing more to be said.
You're still saying words there, pal. That's doubled up. Who's Paycheck's biggest competitor?
Letters, ADP.
Take a drink.
All right, well, you're screwing me up because I have to set him up with a designated drinker after this, but that's
Yeah.
okay. That's
Oh
what-
shit, I didn't know that. Okay. All right. And last but not least, in the words of the great Danny Glover, or should I say Roger Murtaugh, what was your first "I'm too old for this shit" moment in life?
My
This.
first, I'm too shit for this.
I'm too old for this shit. You ever see Lethal Weapon?
We had someone call us Corinthian leather as they flipped their hand up, our Custodia Financial Corinthia leather from the old Lorenzo Lamas days of Look Boss. You remember Rich Corinthian leather?
No.
I don't, but I know who Lorenzo Lamas is.
This person, it's the longest acronym
I don't know
you've
what we're
ever heard.
talking about anymore.
Yeah, I don't know either, but it sounds like you're kind of proving the point.
Justin,
Anyways,
help me.
ladies and gentlemen, the founder and CEO, I'll drink, of Custodia Financial, Mr. Tod with 1D Ruble.
I like the 1D. I like the 1D.
Mhm.
That's solid. Welcome to the
Cause
show,
problems
Todd.
my whole life.
Welcome to the show, Todd.
Thank you.
Okay, a couple housekeeping items. Todd is temporarily not drinking alcohol, so I need to nominate someone from the audience to be a designated drinker. Now, Brandon, I know you were part of the email going back and forth. I thought maybe you could be prepared to set someone up for us to view them drinking, but if not, no big deal.
I didn't catch that part of the
Boy,
conversation.
you
We
really
are
got to
on fire
stay
today.
on Brandon these days on the back and forth of it. Like I'm just thinking he's catching it all, but he's not.
I mean,
Okay,
a
doesn't matter.
perfect fit here would have been Todd with 2 Ds, right?
90% of
extra
it's
D.
not relevant to me, so I just don't bother reading.
So I need someone out there in the audience who's gonna drink for Todd with 1D, and I'll drink for Todd if I have to, says Jack. Are you for real, Jack? Let's get Tristan Carlson on the ball. Oh, is Tristan Carlson here is my son here?
Yeah, he is.
Okay, that's a perfect.
Can't you just
designated
yell
drinker.
for him?
Todd, feel free to speak freely tonight. Every time you say an initialism or an acronym, my son will have to drink from his penalty drink at home. He's 12 years old and he's in middle school, so I hope you feel proud of him. No, he's 22. He's gonna get shit canned. Okay, Tristan, it is. Hackler agrees. Next housekeeping item, real quick. Chat Bar Champion, Rogue Guy, Silent J, Brandon, help me out in bringing this new style to fruition. Like, watch the leaderboard throughout. Oh, there he is. Great. Watch the leaderboard throughout. Let us know who's doing well, who's leading. You know, chime in from time to time. I've been blowing it in terms of like kind of heading up this new Chat Bar Champion. Yeah, your Chat Bar Champion sucks. Let's give it another shot. See if we can make it work. To vote for someone, you do what the fuck do you do? CBC. I'll drink and their name. Is that it?
Yep.
Okay. With all that behind
Yeah,
us,
Chad, you can win, but you actually have to say something funny, not smart.
No, he's driving right now. He should not be texting.
All right.
Yeah, I just said, can I win?
With all that behind us, BC. Oh, I'll drink for that too. You know, I like myself some coastlines, and when you're broke and hungry, you get in a bread line. If you're gusto, you like buying some guideline. But when you're a 401k pro in the chat bar, You know what you want? You want some fucking headlines.
Oh,
I like that.
new
That
little
was good.
image.
Yeah. Nice change.
Damn. We're gonna start with. I'm actually pivoting. Brandon's got an article straight from Prime Capital's website that I sent him, but I would encourage everyone out there to actually go to the National Association of Plan Advisors. John Sullivan, Sully, friend of the show, wrote a piece called "Exclusive: Colangelo on Prime Capital's Carlyle deal." So the news here, everybody, is $600 million in hybrid capital are going to Scott Colangelo and his firm Prime Capital Financial. So this is a big investment. Let's talk a bit about it. This is
What's hybrid? What's hybrid capital?
great question.
I'm only asking because Will Hackler and Jim Sampson text me and asked me to ask that question.
Okay, I'm going to cover that.
That
Let me
tracks.
give some of the stats first. Current valuation of the company, 1.8 billion with the letter that it starts. I can say with a B.
Yeah, you can say B. Yeah.
This is up from approximately 600 million in 2023. So in 3 short years, they've tripled their valuation, which is pretty impressive if you pay attention to that kind of stuff. In
When did Jania move over?
Recently. Oh, no, not too
Yeah.
recently.
I'm
she's
seeing if there's a
part of that.
correlation there.
She's
Yeah.
100% part of that, as well as Justin, plenty of acquisitions. How did they get
course.
that growth? Through a ton of acquisitions, which is, by
What
the way,
I'm getting at is the money just seems to follow Jania.
yeah, well, that's
Yep.
fair. That's fair.
She's good.
Obviously, assets under management up huge. How did they go about doing this? They did this through acquisitions, but they've had some natural growth. So, to Mark's question, what is this hybrid deal? Well, I saw it about for a second, and I started reading some of the articles. When you're an owner of a company like Prime Capital, and I don't just mean Scott, because Jania's an owner. All these other advisors, not all of them, but a lot of them that come on are owners. And especially as you start to get a little bit older, you'd like to cash in on some of that ownership. So that is, from Scott's own words, that is part of what's happening with this 600 million, is some of the owners are getting some liquidity for their investment. So this could be 5 million bucks in someone's wallet, 15 million in someone else's. Who knows? Maybe Scott's buying a new yacht for 50 million. Like we have no idea. But some of it is that. And then I think the rest of it is now they've got a new, what do you call it? Treasure chest, war trove to go out there and purchase and grow and acquire other advisor firms. So, Todd, what's your experience with private equity and all these firms coming in and creating liquidity and getting people money? I mean, do you play in these worlds? Do you understand what's going on there? Or are you like me and it's kind of new to you?
Yeah, I have a pretty decent handle on it. I think that it could be a couple things. It's probably deferred. It's probably secondary market comp, which means existing shares where people can cash out.
Yeah,
like you said, with
totally.
the balance of it going for growth in their roll-up acquisition strategy that they're incorporating around the country. So it allows the current ownership to monetize up their positions in the
Yeah.
platform.
Because that's no fun. That's no fun to be an owner in a $1.8 billion company and you don't have a couple of Lambos in the driveway. Like, why you're not even living your life, you know? Gotta liquidate it, cash in, right? People? Mark, I was looking for a comment.
Just another Lambo comment I'm going to ignore.
We're just going to move on. Good for Scott. We'll keep our eyes on all the owners at Prime Capital, and we'll keep their eye on their growth in this whole deal. I just want to bring it to the attention because here we go again with all these investment firms and this private equity just throwing money around. So interesting times. The next headline I'd like to pay attention to is Mesereau is in the news again. We talked about them a few weeks ago or months ago when they bought Todd Canning's Leaf House as I consider Leaf House to be one of those mid-range, getting large, but definitely an independent 338 fiduciary. Um, Now they are purchasing the FlexPath 338 services. So not the FlexPath Collective Investment Trust or any of that stuff that Great Gray and Rob Barnett, past guests on this show, are involved in, but specifically the 338 solutions. Todd, I'm going to kick this to you. 338, outsourcing that. A lot of advisors do this on behalf of their plan sponsor clients. Do you want to live in a world where it's done by big, massive firms like Mesero and Morningstar, aka a drink? Do you see value in some of these smaller boutique firms,
Whoops.
or are we destined for it just to be a bunch of big players in this space?
Well, I think plan sponsors mistakenly think that just because they brought on a 338 that they've offloaded. And I'm not saying this across the board, that they've offloaded all of the risk. They're obviously still responsible as the plan sponsor, but having those deep pockets behind you as a co-338 who's overseeing the performance of the plan probably provides some level of comfort. It can't be a bad thing, because the main goal is to relieve the burden of that exposure to the plan sponsor from your advisor standpoint. Is that correct?
Yeah, for sure. Or the advisor, whoever's, that fiduciary in that case. I just mean, so you said deep pockets. Would I be putting words in your mouth to say you'd rather have the deep pockets of a Mesero and a Morningstar versus a small firm?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you're exactly right.
That's fair. I want to get this conversation started in another angle. If you've been reading Fred Reach's blog posts, and I don't know if you know this about Fred over the last decade, he likes to take a subject and then really like hammer that subject in multiple blog posts. So he was doing that with the fiduciary rule for over the last 5 to 6 years. Obviously, that thing has been killed and is dead. And so now he's on, like, I want to say Article 17 or 18 of his analysis of the proposed Department of Labor regulations on how fiduciaries should pick designated investments. So the selection of investments and the 6 areas. And so if you haven't checked it out, go to fredreach.com. I think I drank for that, and check it out. But here, if you read those articles, this has been my takeaway, and this is where I want to get everyone's thoughts, chat bar included. All the language in this new Department of Labor proposed regulations, they give a lot of examples of like a plan sponsor or a fiduciary being in a certain position as it relates to picking investments. And it's kind of scaring the shit out of me in terms of the detail they're giving and what they expect of a fiduciary. Like, they really think these fiduciaries should know the intricacies of investments, underlying investments inside of managed accounts, inside of target date funds. And I'm the first one to tell you that most of these plan sponsors and their committees and the advisors that guide them, no offense to your general advisors, they don't know this shit very well at all. And so I think we might be looking at a boom for 338 outsourced fiduciary services if this regulation continues to go through. I feel like, Mark, 338 fiduciary could be something that every plan sponsor should want to do, simply to create some type of relief for themselves. Is that a crazy thought?
I wouldn't say it's a crazy thought, right? That plan sponsors might see the value in it, but where do the advisors sit in terms of their value and how they want to be involved in that? So, I mean, I don't know. I think that I see your point there. I think any plan sponsor wants to relieve themselves of anything where they fall asleep at night and have to worry about anything. But at the end of the day, you can't rid yourself of all liability just because you're bringing in a 338.
As Todd mentioned earlier, you're still going to be responsible to monitor that 338 fiduciary. But Justin,
They don't know how to, though.
Yeah, right. How many advisors do you see taking on the 338 role as opposed to outsourcing them to some type of specialized firm?
Oh, okay. I was going to
Thing.
say 338 is definitely on a rise. It doesn't have the negative connotation to it like it did when it first came out because advisors were like, oh, that's what I do. It's my job to look at that stuff. But to that question, I'm seeing still more, not taking it on themselves. I would say the specialists definitely take it on themselves, right? But a lot of the greenies that we work with or whatnot, they utilize the Mesros of the world,
Those services.
straight through the record keeper.
Todd, any thoughts on whether you feel like a financial advisor is, hurting their role or their value by outsourcing that type of 338, or are you cool with that?
And feel
It's
free to use
just
an acronym
another-
in that response. Tristan's
Yeah.
thirsty.
It's just another example of bundling or unbundling that particular service, but I think it's going to go along with the advisors now, because all it is the responsibility to monitor, assess, and take action, which you probably should be doing as their advisor anyway, in plan design and investment lineup. And this is just another one of those decisions. I could see it both ways. I mean, plan sponsor wants somebody else on the hook that's got deep pockets, and you want to provide an additional service, kind of like Fidelity did relative to financial engines when they said, okay, we're not just gonna provide you with the automated investment services. We're gonna step up behind you as a co-fiduciary so that you know that we're minding the store. So yeah, I think it depends on how you want to market yourself as an advisor.
What's the going rate, Justin, Mark, for 338 fiduciary services in our kind of micro market? 5 bips?
Through the record keeper, but yeah, if you're going personal or straight through the advisor.
That's an incremental 5 bips, right, Mark?
Yeah.
No.
No, it's 5 basis points.
It's 5 straight. Yeah.
Drive straight.
I'm saying over and above the whatever you're charging.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
It's added to the cost. Right.
Well,
right.
yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
That's what I asked by. It's an incremental
Yeah.
increase in the
5 bips on top. Yeah, because so let's imagine I'm an advisor, Todd, and we'll say it's $1 million plan. I'm charging 50 basis points, and according to the boys here, for 5 extra, I can get a record keeper or someone to do the 338. I haven't given this a lot of thought, so I apologize if anyone's going to beat me up in the chat bar, but I'm going to outsource that shit. Why am I going to take on the responsibility to be a 338 if I can outsource it for 5 bips from my client, and that can allow me to focus on other things?
Is that a penalty?
Have
we decided that?
Bips? No,
Oh.
it's not, because it's not multiple words. Oh shit, yeah, it is basis points.
And maybe I can help my plan sponsor monitor the 338 investment fiduciary a little bit, since they're going to be pretty novice at that. I just feel like this is going to be less done by individual financial advisors and more done by these firms, whether they're going to be boutique or whether they're going to be these big firms like Mesro. But
Do you think that? Okay, so now let me ask you this though: do you think that could create conflicts if things begin to consolidate into a more 338 driven approach, where now it's not about, right, obviously they have to be monitored, there's got to be scoring, but certain 338s favoring certain proprietary funds or what have you, where they're generating more revenue, and it's just going to create more potential for the boogeymans of the world to come out of the woodworks and start looking into their methodologies and more conflicts there?
Ask Nate Moody about Great Gray, retirement plan advisory group, collective investment trusts out there, the private equity and the investment firms behind all those companies, let alone the investment firms themselves. So is there a potential for conflict of interest and some secret phone calls or emails? For sure. I'm going to take back a little bit of what I said earlier, in that I do think for 5 basis points, that's very cheap. And I think we might see a lot of really big company, simple solutions where they're not paying attention to nuance and customization for clients. So maybe that's a great place for advisors to build that car wash alongside their gas station, if you will, to have a better 338 fiduciary that's more customized to those clients.
Right.
Anyways, I just think outsourcing fiduciary responsibility, and we're talking about as it relates to investments, will become a bigger and bigger thing.
Can I quickly
Absolutely.
not segue off of that topic, but segue off of that article? And it was funny. I was reading it. Something really pissed me off, so I wanted to get on a soapbox real quick. And I never do this. I never interrupt the show to do this.
Go for it.
I'm really tired, and I mean extremely tired, of every article that we write where something like this is announced, some sort of press release where there's an acquisition or a merger or whatever it is. And this quote from the CEO, oh, I'll drink for that, or the big players involved. And I'm going to read it because I hope everyone else agrees with me. If you don't, then whatever.
Yeah.
The commitment to helping advisors and plan sponsors achieve better participant outcomes. Can we stop saying that? Can we? Everything is, we're just going to use this buzzword of participant outcomes. Shut up, dude. This is a transaction where you're going to make more money, and we know that. Don't talk about participant outcomes. That's like saying financial wellness 5 years ago. I'm tired of it. Please stop saying it. Go into chat, 3-letter word, find a new synonym for it for all I care. Call it roast beef. I don't give a crap. Say something else. You are paid millions of dollars. Your vocabulary has to be more expansive. Stop saying the same thing everyone else does.
I feel like when there's an acquisition.
Worried about your blood pressure right now, bud.
When there's an acquisition within our industry, to back up Roby, why is it always like, this is going to make us better? We're going to help people. We're going to do more good in the world, instead of just like letting us know, like, yeah, some big baller stroked a check, bought a book of business from someone else to grow them. Those people got paid out.
That's a rhetorical question. They're not going to say that shit. Come on.
Well,
they got to say what they think is going to make everyone feel good, which clearly has the adverse effect on Mark.
It's all
participant outcomes.
Yeah.
Shut up. Shut up, dude.
This might really help. This acquisition could really help participant outcomes. Todd, before I move on, can you tell me like your 3 or 4 favorite initialism or acronyms in the industry? Like, which ones just roll off the tongue for you?
DC.
Yeah, that's a good one.
DB.
I think that might be 3 right there.
RFI. RFP.
Nice.
Also, that's not a penalty. That's just a beer, Tristan. What are we doing here?
Yeah,
I think he's going to get it.
Go liquor cabinet. Let's Brandon, let's spin the wheel of ice, and then we're gonna play a quick game.
Okay, hold on, wait.
You're not gonna get it, Mark. Don't worry.
All of us. Chad, see if he has his Smirnoff with him.
I'll drink from Chad.
Okay, and also I think there's a penalty for whoever doesn't show up on the next show. That's what I'm doing. That's just me. Of course.
Yeah, there's JD. There we go.
A lot lately. All right.
Hold on, JD. Are you sure? You want me to do it? I'll do it.
No.
It hasn't been me for a long time.
You can't do it because I got to do it because I'm about to set you up. Sorry.
Okay.
This company. Oh,
I'll do it.
I know when you get a little later in life, I'm not saying you're an old guy, but you're getting close there. It's important to really maximize your investments. You want to make money on the money you have. And I don't need to be telling you that. I'm sure you know that. But what I have for you today is a cheat code. I have a way for you to make millions in a very short period of time. You just pay close attention to what you're about to hear. Everybody, it's time to introduce the investment guru you've all came here for. It's Drunk Stock Tips with Roby. Yeah, Todd, that's what I look like too when I think about this. I'm like, my God, what the fuck? This guy's about to blow my mind. I'm not going to give you the ticker yet, but this company traded at $27.66 with a market capitalization of $2.88 billion. It has
market capital? Was that hybrid cap?
No, straight up cap,
no
non-hybrid, with a price to earnings ratio of just over 15. This company has did almost $4.5 billion in sales in 2025, slightly down from 2024. I think it's down like 13%. And they have approximately 5,500 employees across the globe. The ticker, the ticker is 3 letters. And it's probably one of the better tickers in all of fucking the stock market. The ticker is HOG. 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 I'm
Okay.
talking about none other
Doesn't.
than
Gotta
Harley
be.
Davidson.
Oh, dude, what
Mm.
a genius ticker
Look at
they
the
got out of
sensor right there.
that.
Right?
Knew it.
Yeah.
Is
Yeah.
this a buy or a
Dude.
sell, Roby? What do we do? And Todd, as soon as he tells you, you get all the money you have anywhere and you put it on this horse.
Okay, so first off, let me just have a disclaimer here for all the information that I'm about to give. My legal team tells me that I should tell everybody that this is not actually investment advice and that I am not held liable for the things
Not
that I
true.
say, and
Nothing
you
he
make
said
your own
was true.
decisions. But here's
Pussies.
what I'm adding to my legal team's comment is that this will help participant outcomes if you listen to me. So, Harley, they make motorcycles. Okay. Now, let me tell you a little something about
And cool
motorcycles.
jackets.
They've got 2 wheels. That's all I know about them. That's all I got. So Harleys to me are like the Raiders that I love, my football team that I enjoy. People ask me, wow, that team really sucks. Why do you like them? And I tell them it's a lifestyle decision. It's not a smart decision. Okay. So the same would go for a motorcycle. Wow, those are pretty dangerous. Wow, those are, pretty lethal if something happens. But it's a lifestyle, man. Okay, just everybody close your eyes. Just close your eyes. Pretend that you're on the open road. Wind in your hair if you're JD, wind in your face if you're Justin, and your eyes are open at this point, but you're on the road. It's just you, the cement, yourself, your thoughts, rumbling metal between your legs. There's nothing better. There's absolutely nothing better than that in my mind. What is a car at that point? A car is just a jail cell, right? You need to be free. You need to feel the wind at your hair and not just with the windows down. Okay. So, yeah, you're going to buy this stock. You're going to buy a lot of it. And you're going to really enjoy it when you go to the gas tank or the gas station and you got to fill that thing up and it's $14. Even better. I don't know how much it costs to fill a gas tank on a motorcycle. Anyways, it's a buy. It's a lifestyle decision. Harley Davidson's here for the long haul. It's like the Disneyland for gangsters.
Crack cocaine for gangsters. Can somebody put in a Chabar champion vote for Nate Moody and his comment about Rogue Guy's sister? Because I don't have access to a keyboard.
Oh, I missed that. What'd he say? Shit.
He said your
What did
sister
you
loved
say?
my rumbling metal hockey. Okay, Rogue Guy said it here first, everyone. Harley Davidson. Watch this stock pop the fuck off tomorrow because that's what's going to happen. People are listening.
I'm booking a flight to Maine where nobody goes because that place sucks. And I'm going to go kick Nate Moody square in the dick.
All right. Let's move on to a topic that we probably should have talked about on this show before, and we didn't. The TrueStage debacle. So I apologize to our retirement plan audience. I don't know why this didn't make the agenda on the last few shows. TrueStage record keeping services, formerly this. I'm sure this is an acronym. CUNA.
CUNA Mutual, yeah.
And we have a
Trista, he repeated it. Got a drink.
We have a small amount of clients with these guys. Not a lot by any means, but that's how I found out about this, just through an internal email where someone on my staff was trying to figure out what was going on, and they got cyber hacked, and literally all the participants, plan sponsors, all their clients, they have other sources of business, not just retirement plans, but we're locked out of their accounts, so everyone's freaking out. And you know what I said to my staff, and I wanted them to reiterate this to our small handful of clients. I said, don't worry. This shall all pass very soon. They will sort this out. They will figure out the mistake. They will rectify it, and everything will be right. As of today, several weeks later, I go to their site and it's still the update is fucking nothing. And people do not have access to their accounts. Many of them cannot do transactions. You can apparently call in via phone and maybe get your account balance, but this continues to be a problem at TrueStage. And I don't want to like make any accusations, but I'm fearful that maybe it's worse than we've all imagined because I just think they would have sorted something out by now.
Are you saying the article lied? Because it did say that participants can now gain access to their assets and take distributions.
John
But you're not seeing that on our side?
And request loans.
If I go to the site right now at TrueStage,
the actual site.
Okay.
It says current status, investigating, last updated August 20th. Customers may experience difficulty accessing account information, completing transactions, or submitting requests online. And yes,
hey, we've never done this on the show. Should we call their customer service live on air?
I would love to do
see
that.
if we can get through.
I would love to do that someday. Todd, I'll just hit you with generalities here. You don't need to throw TrueStage under the bus if you don't want to. Just cybersecurity in general and these hacks. Did you lose sleep over this stuff at night? Do you worry that some big thing's going to happen in the coming months? Like we live in a different world now with AI and Fable and fucking Anthropic and who knows what.
Wake up, Mark.
I think the biggest concern about it is uncertainty over how big the reward can be or the loss can be for the insurance that's behind it, the cyber coverage. So I don't know how you find the bottom with how large that loss could actually be from a major cyber attack, yet the insurers write it like it's life insurance, or property and casualty coverage. It's uncertain what your exposure could be.
100%. And let me be clear, I don't want to say anything that's too off. I don't believe that money has been stolen or lost. I believe they've just been
they did say that in the article.
Other systems. Yeah. However, you've got a whole bunch of plan sponsors in the 401k space that cannot get money into their plans right now. We were counseling some of ours to put them in savings accounts to kind of as a holding pattern. And so there's definitely going to be some lost earnings. There's going to be some penalties. There's going to be a monetary bogey here for them that insurance will need to cover. So your point is still very valid. But that's another great point, Todd. Wait till we get the cyber attack where fucking the money disappeared or something. That's going to be next level shit. So
it is interesting to see how many are not interesting. I'm curious to see how, what the effects of, loss of business is going to be. How many plan sponsors are going to move on? Well, we got one doing it right now.
Well, I've already heard that people are looking to mine those 5500s and find these clients so they can make calls to them. So we know that's what our industry is doing, right, Tristan? Yeah, he was telling me all about Tristan isn't just a designated drinker. He's also our internal sales consultant. And he was telling me that guys were looking for those lists to go knocking on those doors. So yeah, I don't know. Why are we talking about this? Why are we bringing it up? I guess for two main learning points here. One is this kind of shit can happen. And so when it does, we need to highlight it just so we can all be aware of it. This makes me feel, was TrueStage a big vendor? This makes me feel like I would be far more comfortable if my clients were with some very big blue chip type vendors. I'm not saying that they can't get cyber hacked, but I sure would feel a lot more comfortable right now if instead of my plan being at TrueStage, it was at Voya or Empower. I'm thinking they're going to make right on all this, but maybe that's just conjecture on my part. And then lastly, although you wouldn't solve this problem, I was going to say, let's try and turn this into a positive. Good advisors should be well versed on this and great at taking steps with their clients to protect them and make sure they got the right policies in place. But no, that's still a fair takeaway because these hacks can come from all different angles. And so I think it would be a great service for advisors to help their clients prepare.
What is the timeline for because again, they said it happened July 11th, right? When did the first notification go out? Like how long does it take for them to go from finding out what happened to then disclosing what happened? Is there
They found it on July
true?
11th, but and then July 15th, I think, is when they announced it to the public, but they don't know how long it had been occurring before they found it.
Okay.
Here's my problem with that, Mark. If I could give advice to TrueStage, we found out, I found out through an email internally a couple weeks ago, probably lines up with Justin's dates there. But here's been my problem along the way. And this kind of goes to your corporate language you were bitching about earlier. I've seen a lot of corporate disclosures from them, a lot of legalese speak, and very little details. And so I feel like as a partner of theirs that has clients with them, I'd like a little more transparency from them on what's going on. Instead, I felt like they were just trying to kind of hold us at bay for a long time. And that was a very uncomfortable feeling. So
yeah, wouldn't you think, again, you run a business, wouldn't you think just being far more transparent with your clients is better than keeping them in the dark? Because although it could be bad, they might actually have a little empathy afterwards and be like, hey, you came out, you were accountable, you let us know. Yeah.
Instead,
I don't think you could do that from a PR standpoint. It'd be suicide.
Justin, is that right?
Shit.
And Justin, I'm sure their attorneys probably tell them they can't. Like, don't say this, don't say that.
Well, especially public relations is one thing, but also damage control is another. You can public relations this on the back end, right?
Yeah. So. But Nick Banting brought up a good point. He said, if they don't know the extent of the hack, they would have, or if they knew the extent of the hack, they would have said it already.
Yeah. So they're still investigating it. Yeah. Well, Nick, when it's 3-4 weeks later and you're still investigating, I'm getting scared. Like I want some detail.
Yeah, they said they hired an outside cybersecurity firm, but at this point, what point do you go higher than that?
Yeah, or what time do you give up? I mean, the whole thing can be a ship on fire at this point. What Nate Moody was kidding about Great Gray buying them, right? He just made that according to the rumors. Good. I have a good bullshit to take care of, guys. Okay. Todd, I'm gonna slide on over to your website here at Custodia Financial. And as I do so, we are going to start this conversation on participant loans in retirement plans being defaulted. And on your site, it says 40%. That's the percentage of 401k plan participants holding a loan over a 5-year period. That's pretty shocking. 40% is the percentage of 401k participants that hold that loan over a 5-year period. 86% is the percent of participants with an outstanding loan balance who default when they leave their job. That makes sense to me. I think most people do that when they've got an outstanding loan, they leave their job, they default it. And what is this? $300,000 retirement savings over a career, lost retirement savings over a career for a typical defaulting borrower. Yes, Roby.
I just have a question, and Todd, I don't want to put you on the spot here, but maybe you can work with your team. That one statistic of 40% from 2015, do we think we can maybe get a little update there?
Yeah, and one thing that's been pretty consistent is that borrowing is always hovering around 20%. What I mean by that is 20% of your universe of participants in your plan have a loan outstanding. The 40% number means a unique borrower is 40% of your plan participants over a 5-year period will borrow against their 401 plan. Okay, so that shows
even 20%. That shows
the extent to which people are utilizing loans to
even I would say 20%, which would probably line up at my company. We might even be higher than that, and we're in the business. People like to access their 401k when they can, if those loan provisions available. But Todd, set the stage for us. Like before I met you and understood this, I didn't see loan defaults as a problem. I just saw them as something that kind of happens. But your entire mission here is to solve this problem. So help set the stage for everyone listening in.
Yeah, it's like, why does financial wellness ignore loan defaults? If you're doing everything you can to maximize the return, auto re-enrollment, bringing in different investment lineup, but you let anybody who borrowed with the intention of paying back their loan, default on their loan, when they involuntarily lose their job, what's concerning is what they do after that. If there was a $150,000 account and they borrowed 10 grand, which is pretty close to the statistics, they cash out because they don't have any money to repay the loan. And when they cash out, they're taxed and penalized. And all of a sudden, a $10,000 loan on 100, 2/3 of the participants are cashing the entire account out. So they're cashing out their $150,000 account. Their average age is 40. That's going to accumulate and compound over 3 decades. A $10,000 loan turns into a $400,000 hole in your account at the end of the day, in your retirement account.
We all understand why they're doing that, right? Like, they took that loan, let's say 2 years ago or whatever it was, and they've spent that money, right? They needed it for something, whatever it was. And so they've most likely spent it. They didn't take the loan on it and go put it underneath their mattress. And so now here comes this unforeseen circumstance. They're leaving their job for whatever reason. They got a new job, they got fired, who knows what. And to your point, they don't have that money just sitting on hand. So not to make this a full advertisement for you, but let's do it for a moment. How are you then solving this so that you're doing some type of insurance play or something? You're going to cover them. They're going to buy some type of insurance rider that when that happens, you're somehow going to back them in some way. Like, help us understand your solution.
Yeah, and let's be clear, these people are borrowing for medical expenses uncovered by their health insurance to prevent an eviction or a foreclosure or kids' tuition. So it's real life issues that are coming up.
Or a big
wouldn't that be more of a hardship versus a loan, though?
So why would you want to take a hardship if it's immediately taxed and penalized when you could borrow the money, pay essentially yourself back at 8.25%?
Because they don't want to pay it back. They want to handle their issue and move on.
But if they borrowed from their plan and they don't have the liquidity or wherewithal because they're out of work now.
I'm not backing you here, Roby, either. I agree with you that those are hardship things, but people will take loans for those. And don't forget, it wasn't too long ago where you had to exhaust your loan for things before you could take a hardship. Though I know those rules have changed.
Times have changed, right? But
the same thing is true, is that the money's been spent. And Todd, I get you, it was for something important that they couldn't avoid. So now this is the sketchy part. How the fuck are you solving this? Because you're running a business. I'm not signing you for it. You got to make money from it. So it is some type of insurance play, right? It's
we insure the entire book of loans of the 401k, and they have an obligation to preserve assets as the plan sponsor and fiduciary in the event of a default. That's what they're doing. They're fulfilling their fiduciary obligation, and they're preventing the loans from defaulting because participants are more likely to roll over their entire account if it's been replenished beforehand. Somebody loses their job, we repay the loan before the default occurs and the offset occurs against the account.
Okay, so help us understand all the dynamics here. So what does that cost me? Let's use me as an example. Let's say I'm a 40-year-old participant. I've got 100K in my account, and and where you come to me through my employer, through my record keeper, and you say to me, JD, you never know what may happen. No. If you take a loan someday, you may want to have this rider on top of it that will protect you. I don't want to start making up how it works. You tell me how it works, and then what it's going to cost me and how it will play out.
Yeah, we'll evaluate your book of loans. And for the next year, we'll cover any loans that default. Cost somewhere between 4 to 6 basis points on your AUM a year to protect all those loans.
That's you, Tristan.
And if you think about that, it's money that's half of it or thereabouts is going back into the plan. It's not a fee for a service. You're buying insurance. So the insurance is going to pay benefits over a period of time. And you can use plan assets to pay for this. You can even use, because it's an expense of the plan, because the participant doesn't own their account yet. The loan is an investment of the plan according to ERISA. And we structure I know we're regulatory compliant because Bradford Campbell's on our advisory team, and he's one of the attorneys of the architect of our program, along with Bob Toth.
Past guests on this show, Brad Campbell, we passionately named him Scooter when he was on the show. But
yeah, it's pretty simple.
He's seen me at my worst.
There's blanket coverage of all the loans in the book. It costs 4 to 6 basis points. But what we can do, you're going to be able to manage, and that you're automating financial wellness, and then you can measure it because we'll know how many loans were defaulted.
Okay. So
unlike trying to go through an educational seminar that tells people don't borrow, you can't tell people not to borrow during an emergency. You can't.
So I apologize for my stupidity, but so you're going to then go to my employer and analyze it and then charge some basis points for this insurance on the total plan assets to have this in place.
Right, and anybody therefore everybody who borrows or takes out a loan is protected with their automatic.
But you also, did I read it correctly that this could be a participant expense of $2 per month for every $1,000 they borrow?
No, I think what you're referring to, Mark, is we can speak to it in terms of how much it would cost in plan assets. It's on average, like I said, 4 to 6 basis points. That in dollars costs.
So there's no way to just charge the participant?
You can, but we're bypassing the record keepers and going straight to the plan sponsor because they have the insurable interest because they're responsible for preserving the assets in the loan. Those are plan assets.
So I don't want to be the antagonist here. If I'm a participant in the plan that's never going to take a loan because it's just not my style, I'm responsible, I'm saving a lot. Am I paying for this feature for my fellow employees?
Well, the plan sponsors are choosing to do it with plan assets, and that's why we
those are my plan assets.
That's why we provide the dynamic that 40% of the people, many of them who never thought they would borrow over a 5-year period, that goes to 50 over a 7-year period. They're going to have their loans protected, and they're going to automatically have them prevented from default. So you're improving financial wellness.
So they're prevented from default.
Oh yeah. Shit.
John asked a good question. Say they leave.
Yes.
Do they still pay the loan back? Do they pay you guys? Like what happens there?
It's just like a P&C product on your house. If you suffered the damage, then the insurance benefits pay the loan off.
Money.
So if I take a loan today for 15
hire this guy.
Yeah, and then I get fired tomorrow and I have an outstanding loan balance of $15,000, I don't have to pay that back?
If you're fired for cause, you wouldn't be. It's not covered. It's death.
Well, my performance is terrible, so I probably would be. So.
But there's a waiting period on the front end, so you can't game the system and say I'm going to leave. You certainly not voluntarily, or I'm gonna do whatever I can to get laid off so that I can game the system. But keep in mind, if someone doesn't get laid off, they've then got the deduction coming out of their paycheck every month still for the loans. So they've got to be careful that they're not borrowing with the intent of defaulting on the loan.
This is
on that real quick. Nate asked another question too, or brought up another point that I've never thought about, and you guys might know the answer. Why don't we just make repayment straight in ACH? So if you leave your job, you can continue to pay that back.
Well, that gets complicated.
When I started looking through this at first,
it's a bank account number.
Honest, I didn't know that this existed. It was all new to me, so I was doing my research and reading through. But I thought for some reason, before I even dug into the specifics, I thought it was like if somebody defaulted on their loan, that it was almost like you were going to take their loan and move it somewhere else and say, now you back over time over here versus defaulting on it and having to have a big tax thing. To JD's point,
loans aren't portable, Mark. So
loans aren't. Well,
I get that. That's why I thought like, oh, this is something I've never heard of. But now I've dug into it. And I get it.
I just want to address
it's a liquidity solution for loans to prevent them from defaulting. That's it. You prevent, and we pay before the taxes and penalties are due, so that you're not exacerbating the problem with those costs associated with it.
So again, try to think high level, because we get so focused on ourselves personally as participants. Think high level again, and remember that this is an employer-sponsored retirement plan with plan assets, and there is a reoccurring problem that happens in these defaulted loans where we're losing assets. They're being defaulted. They were loaned out, right? When you loan, and Justin, this goes back to your question about the bank payments that then Moody backed you up on. When you're taking money as a loan, that's plan assets that have to go back into that plan. That's the agreement. Right. So if you leave now, and I'm just going to get your bank ACH thing to make those payments. What does that
stand for?
Automatic.
You are no longer an employee of mine.
I understand that side of it.
Plan assets in your hands that I'm asking you to pay back. And I have no idea where you're going to go, what your bank account's going to look like.
If by default, anyways, the money's not going to be in there.
I'm just telling you, I don't think employers past employees trying to pay back
the end of the next quarter, after you default, the loan's offset with the outstanding balance and accrued interest of the loan. This will scare you. Bank of America came out in the fourth quarter, 401k specialty noticed this, and said 11% of their loans were in default at the end of the fourth quarter. That's a plan asset that needs to be protected. What would you do if your target date fund was losing 11% on an annual basis? A loan is no different.
What's the acronym for target date fund?
What's the acronym? TDF?
Yep. Thanks.
No, I get it.
Well, you got how about SVF? You want to throw a stable value fund in there too?
and shame on me. Part of me wants to.
No, but look, there's this $250 billion pool of debt, which are employees' assets that they had to borrow for an emergency.
It's a wellness issue.
Saying is, just because you had to borrow, you shouldn't be at risk of losing all that money that you intended to pay you back if you just keep the employee. That was the bargain they made.
I don't know.
Doesn't say if that doesn't happen, then I'm going to get my loans.
I could sit on both sides of the fence on that one. But I also do get the whole point of this is a play on, I know we're stretching a little bit, but this is a play on retirement readiness. It's a play on financial wellness. It's this
automatic. It's systemic guardrails.
Yeah, fair enough.
That could in place. We've been solely focused on trying to educate people not taking loans on the front end and not recognizing that they're taken for legitimate reasons. This just is a backstop that protects that from devastating their future retirement outcome. Look, Jack Vanderhee studied it at Ebury and called it a $2 trillion problem over a lifetime, and should have loan insurance. And DeCia just came out and said, we think from a financial wellness standpoint,
that's a drink.
Sponsors should adopt loan protection.
Defined contribution investment institute or something. So drink for that, bitch.
So this leads to better participant outcomes. That's what I'm hearing.
And they're automated. Participants don't have to make a choice, and it's measurable. You can figure out how much was protected because you prevented X number of defaults from taking place. You can measure it.
Yeah. Well, I want to move on, but let me ask you, have you yourself presented this concept to plan sponsors, or do you have minions for that? And what is their reaction to this? I mean, you feel like they get it, or is it a tough sell?
It's a good question, JD. We originally went to the record keepers with auto enroll with an opt-out, and had great traction with the Fortune 500 market because of the magnitude of defaults on those plans. And some of these plans have $100 million, $200 million in loans outstanding against the really large ones. But, gaining, some type of cooperation with the record keepers wasn't very certain back in those days. So we just iterated the program and streamlined it and sell it straight into the plan sponsors now.
Yeah, directly to plan sponsors. I think the record keepers are always difficult to partner with, no matter what the fintech or the solution is. So that's not just on you.
this is just disintermediated. They don't need to be involved in the process. I mean, it's a plan sponsor decision.
Yeah. Okay. We'll keep our eye on it, and we'll keep in touch with you on this. And I think, again, that's what this show's here for, is we want us.
JD,
Can I finish my fucking sentence?
no, you haven't even asked the question yet.
I'm not asking a question.
No, it sounds like business is going well. So how many Lambos do you own, Todd?
Oh.
Yeah, we pivoted, and look, we've signed a distributor, we've got advisors putting it in their financial wellness toolkit, saying they think it's, it's a liquidity solution that improves retirement outcomes.
But how many Lambos do you have?
I made a tremendous amount of money.
I'll leave those to
ridiculous.
I mean, University of Texas football players.
Got it.
Whoa, take it easy on the Longhorns.
That's a true story, guys. That's a true story. They really are. Those kids are driving around in Lambos in Austin, Texas.
God
today.
bless them.
So is JD. So is JD.
All right. I know what I was saying was, for us so rudely interrupted by Rob Guy, was that the whole point here is for us all to stay educated on this stuff and to see all these kind of moving pieces out there. And so this is a perfect type of product and solution that I want the entire chat bar to understand, as well as us here. That's not how you spell. I was trying to spell Subaru. I'm sorry, but fucking keyboard. Okay.
Subarus.
Hey guys, thanks for keeping me posted on the new chat bar champion leaderboard. It's great.
I texted Mark. I said, throw up the graphic.
All right.
I didn't want to interrupt you.
Hey, calm down. Oh, great. Fucking Nate Moody. Great. Fantastic. Can I give negative? Hold on.
No, you can't.
Can you get naked? No.
All right.
Nate Moody.
Can we do a quick game? Quick game.
Yeah. Again, let's do it.
Brandon, it's totally original.
I think it's gonna go really well. Webby, dude, we already did that. You weren't here for it.
Get with
Jesus.
the picture.
What is going on? All right, Todd. This is a totally original no per dope game. I made this up because I'm smart like that, and I'm going to tell you something about just general pop culture, or it could be 401k related. And you're going to tell me whether you think it's nope or dope, and then explain why. Okay.
You got to explain it.
First one: setting your alarm to wake up in the morning, knowing all along you're just going to smash that snooze button several times. Nope or dope?
I'd say dope.
You're into that.
Yeah.
How many times you smash the snooze button?
Just one or two. I don't go,
twice. That's fair.
I don't go deep on the reset.
Roby, do you pop up at the time your alarm goes off?
No. People who do are weird. Yeah.
God, you guys sleeps through anything.
Yeah. It's always the snooze bar with you.
Oh yeah.
You don't even hear it.
I set it so early that I snooze at least 10 times.
You're like, oh, it's 2 a.m. Oh, I've got 4 more hours. Great.
It feels really good to set an alarm and be like, I'm going to get up so early. And then it's like, well, at least I tried.
Justin, you set alarms for yourself?
Setting alarms are so archaic, man. I prefer to play it wild. I wake up with the sun, and then if I'm feeling a little sleepy, just close my eyes and see what time I wake up again.
Hey, are you listening to this, everyone? These are these guys' lives. This is their job. Just, wake up whenever. You know how paranoid I am, or high strung I am? If I set my alarm for 5:45, 5:30, 6:15, whatever it is, I will naturally wake up 10, 15 minutes before my alarm goes off, just out of pure paranoia.
I sleep like shit the night I have to wake up. Someone asks about a flight. Yeah, you just missed the flight at that point. But the nights before flights where I don't set alarms, I'm waking up 10 times throughout the evening.
There's always
15 minutes snooze. By the way, what a genius thing to name it. The snooze button. That guy was a marketing genius.
Really was.
Todd, fancy bartenders, I believe they're called like mixologists. And not just them as humans, their creations. This is not just a vodka soda. You're going to get an experience of all kinds of things and flowers and umbrellas. Are you nope or dope on mixologists and their craft?
I think it's dope. I think it's kind of cool that they've got all those different herbs and everything else that they use to they're artisans.
They are artisans
in a certain space. So it's
It's
no
like
different
people
than
work for
cooking
Subway.
than somebody being a great chef. They're just
I'm
doing it
changing
with
my
alcohol.
I'm with you. I'm starting to change my mind on this. Justin,
401k artisan.
do you go and do you buy a bougie drink out at a fancy restaurant?
If I'm on vacation, absolutely, man. Just give them all to me.
But you know what I'm talking about? Like, oh, it's got
Yeah.
smoke in it and who knows what.
Yeah, on vacation, I'll do that all the time. When I'm around.
Ice is from an Atlantic iceberg.
Great being interrupted.
There you go. There you go. That was a good interruption, though.
And they chip off a square.
Yeah, you're right.
Hey, Todd, I was about to tell you it's not your fucking turn, but that was a good interjection.
It really was.
I like
that.
That.
Yeah.
But you're not exposed for failing to preserve that asset, so
Yes.
you're going to be okay.
Whoa. Let's not start making analogies to loan defaults. I have always just been just give me Grey Goose soda, a little bit of OJ. Like, I just want my standard drink, right? But recently, there's been this cool little bar I've been going to close to my place, and the guys there are fancy. They got kind of the mustaches, they wear their hipster clothes, and these guys know.
Does it have like the swinging doors where you walk through like a saloon?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Cool.
And they know like how many ounces they're putting in and this and that, and this is from France or England, and they only use this bourbon for this. And I'm starting to become a fucking fan. Like, some of the shit's pretty good. I'm a big fan now of a mezcal old fashioned this guy's making me.
Dude, I've had one of those before. It's pretty good.
And I'm like, holy shit. So anyways, that's where I sit on it. Road Guy, nobody cares what you think. Okay.
Fucking lame.
Todd, in the same vein, Michelin starred restaurants. Nope or dope?
That's tough because my daughter wants to go to CIA, so
Interesting.
Culinary Institute of America. It's dope.
So yeah, you'd be dope on that. That'd be her dream. That's her goal.
It's not a regular diet, but it's dope.
Roby, have you ever been? Or
No.
You fucking
No, just no. Come on. I don't want to eat somewhere for $1,000 and then have to go to Taco Bell afterwards. Okay.
Hey, so just so happens, true story, I was at one last night, which prompted this nope or dope. And Mark's right, 15 courses of tiny little things with explosions, but much like the mixologist, I would say Michelin shit is fucking pretty dope. Okay, last
Do you know
one.
that Michelin, the star, that it's the tire company, dude? Why are we making a big deal out of this, man? It's like, cool. You make
But you
rubber,
know why?
but yet you judge restaurants? What the fuck are we
You know
talking
why?
about?
The tire company used to give you maps around the world, and it slowly evolved into, hey, when you're in this town on our tires, you should stop at this restaurant and
then just totally default on all your loans because you're not going to be able to pay for your dinner. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, hey, Todd, do you know what % of participants that default on their loan go to Michelin restaurants? Okay. Last one, Todd. Last one.
Oh, God.
And this one came to me.
Are you saying insuring the loan that they take out to go to the Michelin star restaurant?
Either one. I don't know. It doesn't matter. Yeah.
That'd be a great use case of a
You
loan.
can get by why they use the money. They still should insure it because if they lose their job, they had a good meal in their accounts for 20.
Actually,
It's probably not a good meal.
You just inspired me to reach out to the American Retirement Association. We need to lobby for adding Michelin star dine outs to the hardship list. I think that okay. Here's the last one. And I don't know, maybe you guys can tell me what this is called, but I'm going to call it a failed sneeze. Nope or dope. I'm going to sneeze. I'm going to sneeze. And then
it better be dope across the board.
No, it's gone.
Or no, I meant nope. I meant nope. God,
Nope
it's the
or dope?
worst.
Nope. I hate the feeling. I don't know how many people have to look at the sun like a lot of other people do. It
Yes, I
helps
do.
you sneeze.
Yep,
But
a bright
I
light.
hate the feeling of everything accumulating there, and then you're just stuck with a stopped up nose because you couldn't sneeze.
J-Man, that's a horrible feeling, is it not?
Yeah,
I wanna
yeah, I
say
know what you
something
want
so
to
bad.
say. I know what you want to
I'm gonna
say.
say it's almost as bad as blue balls, man. You just no.
I mean, if there was a no, let's not go there. But yeah, I just have to say, like in life, Roby, because that sneeze, you could describe it better than me. Like you're kind of excited about the release of the sneeze,
Yeah.
right? It's something that needs to happen, and then all of a
Yeah.
sudden it doesn't need to happen anymore. But no, you
It still needs to happen. Just gonna say it.
blue nose. We're
Sometimes
naming
I
it
like that,
matters
in
Brandon.
your own hands.
That's pretty good.
Blue
Yeah, no,
nose.
that's just the worst feeling ever. Yeah.
Okay, I had one more thing, but I'll just, fucking human interest unveils new artificial intelligence tool for 401k compliance monitoring. It looks to me like
Have they been looking over your shoulder, JD? Is that what's going
no,
on? Is
that's
that why you're upset?
by the way, when I see these, I do initially worry and I go, oh shit, is someone coming out with something as cool as the shit I'm coming out with? And then usually I go and almost 100% of the time I go and read it. I'm like, oh no, they're just doing something cheesy. This to me looks more like a predictive actual deferral percentage test monitor type of thing.
Which is really
Which-
cool, but I think as nerds we can all poke holes in that because it's not
Right.
going to be perfect. Yeah.
No, we can maybe save that for a later show, but thank you for saying that, Roby. Predicting a failed or a passed ADP test is usually not worth the energy that goes into it.
Yeah.
I
I will say, as a nerdy person, I do think it's pretty cool. I will say, but it's got to be done correctly, or else you're just giving people false information.
Go ahead.
But they have the data. It's good. But the area that I do actually, I'm a big fan of it for is top heavy. Like if you know going into the year beforehand, you're not going to be
top heavy. That's going to be phenomenal.
Yeah.
That could save you a big headache. To me, if you tell me in July that I'm potentially going to fail my actual deferral percentage test, what am I going to do? Restrain my highly compensated?
No, you don't want to do that anyways.
You think I'm going to run out there and do an education?
Can it do a predictive top paid group election? Can we get really into that and do things like that?
If top paid group works, I'm all for
probably,
that.
But I read this article thinking like the concept is cool. I do like the top heavy part, but from the deferral test, it's like you want your people to be able to max out. You don't want to limit them. And two, it's going to create more work on the back end for you, having to inform all your highly comp saying, hey, stop saving. Just let it happen.
And by the way, who do you tell to stop saving? What if you have
that's a good point.
Highly comped? Secondly, and I know the expert people out there know this, like if you're a smaller firm, what if it's one guy getting, two guys could get a bonus at the end of the year?
Yeah.
That would completely change the numbers. Someone, a non-highly comped could backload towards the end of the year and put a bunch of money in. I mean, as soon as that census starts to shrink to 10 people, 12 people, 6 people, that needle moves quickly when things like that happen. So you're
having the monthly update does help predict that a little bit more cleanly than just doing a mid-year test at some point, though.
Yeah. So I don't know. I like to see people using artificial intelligence and pushing the norm. So I should say kudos. God bless that shit. But all right, that's it, everyone. Your chapter champion tonight is the guy with the hottest sister on the planet, unless things have changed since I last saw the leaderboard. I'm sure they haven't. Oh, wait, I think there's some foul play going on.
Oh, I did negative 10 to Moody. It went through? The negative went through?
Did it really?
Oh, that's so good. Fuck you, Nate.
Oh my God. Okay, everyone, this is a day to remember in Retireholics history. For 10 plus years, we have been transparent. We have been honest. We have been full of integrity. No more. Now,
Nate, I love it.
And Nate, I'm not going to stand by and watch this. Nate Moody is the chat bar champion tonight, people, not Greg Greenfield. You didn't earn it,
Hey,
Greg.
Greg, you're my champion, Greg. You are my champion.
Congratulations,
Yeah, there you go.
Nate. Congratulations, Nate. What you have won is an all expense paid trip for your sister to San Diego, California. Let her know. Room, board, everything. Todd, thank you so much for joining us on this crazy show. I know it has lowered your impression of the retirement plan industry in its current state. That's what we do. We drag it down. Sorry about that. I know it used to be professional and cool, but no more. We fucked it all up. But we appreciate you for coming here, and we wish you the best of luck with the company. To all you out there listening in, we love you. Good to see you again. We'll see you next time. By the way, I've got guests booked through November, December, and we've got some bangers coming. So tune in next time. Should be a fun one. Actually, next show's guest is in the chat bar tonight, or he was. He might be gone now.
Is it Todd with 2Ds?
No, he's still there, but I'll let you guess because it's someone who's never been on this show before. Stay tuned to my social media. You'll see, and it's very different from what we've had on the show before. This is not a financial advisor. This is not a record keeper. This is none of those. This is not an ERISA attorney I'll drink. This is someone else, and they're in the chat bar right now. With that, yeah, fuck it. We'll see you next time. We're Retireholics. That's what we are. And we are changing the retirement plan industry one very large bottle of Kettle One at a time. We'll see you next time. Brandon, play the music. Todd, thank you so much. See you later, my Texan.
Thank you, Todd.
Yep. Thank you, guys.
Thanks, Todd. See you guys.
ya.
Take care.
You too.